Back issue browsing. Hey everyone, it's VM Campos comic book fan. I was at my local comic shop recently, Comics and Stuff in San Diego, and I was going through the back issue bins picking up a few things. Let me show them off to you. First off, check it out. Classic 90s goodness. Gimmick covers. Oh, I love them. This is the infamous Eclipso, The Darkness Within, #1. This is by Giffen, Fleming, Sears, Elliott, and Pennington. And what makes it such 90s goodness? Well, it wouldn't be 1992 in comics unless it had a gimmick, and the gimmick is a gem. On the cover, this is a real three-dimensional plastic gem that is glued to the cover of the book. Let's take a quick look at it. It's right here. It's a real three-dimensional black diamond on the cover. In the story, it's used to possess various characters and make them do evil things. Now, what was infamous about this book is, well, would you imagine the other comics stacked on top of it and damaging the one below? As a matter of fact, this one has a little bit of, let's see if you can pick it up in the camera, right there. See how it's embedded right there on the word G? It was from the book right below it, 30 years ago, embedded itself in there. And then the book on top embedded it. What's the inside story about? I don't know. I browsed it. I don't care about it. Oh, remember Cool World? The art is passable. It's got Bart Sears pencils with a bunch of inkers. And the character Eclipso is like taking over people's minds or something. It's a little bit more violent than I would have thought. But I wanted it because of this cover. Check it out once again. I'm a sucker for the 90s gimmick covers. I've got several from that period that I picked up when I was a kid in the 90s. And then there's some that I've been picking up recently because I love them. Yeah, they helped cause the downfall of the comics industry, but look at that. It's a diamond on the cover. Love it. Next up is the original Black Cat series. She had a 4-issue mini-series back in the 90s. Everyone had their own mini-series. Gambit, for example. Storm. Everyone had a mini-series. I don't have any issues. I think I have issue #1, and there were 4. Now here's issue #3. Now I went to the comic shop on a Black Cat kick, and this was in the back issue bin, so I picked it up. Plus on the inside, it had a copy of this Overpower card. So obviously Magic the Gathering was very popular, and it invented the trading card, collectible card genre. So Marvel had their own, and here we had an Overpower card. I don't know how to play it. I had cards back then. I still didn't know how to play it back then, but this one came with it. Now this is from 1996, and the book is from 1994. So some kid had put it there years later, playing Overpower. We took a quick browse here. So it's just classic 90s art. Cheap newsprint. Oh, there's the Mortal Kombat 2. Nothing can prepare you. I loved that ad. It was so cool. And it's just, post-image founding art. We're getting into the bad girl craze of art with very unrealistic bodies on the women and such amazing dialogue as kill. And so it's your standard 90s fare. Here we have Cardiac. Whatever happened to Cardiac? He doesn't come out in any Spider-Man books anymore. I don't know. I stopped reading at a certain point. I don't know if he died or what. But he was going to be one of the big characters. It was Carnage and Cardiac that were coming out at about the same time. And we know which one actually survived. So Black Cat limited series. Actually, it's officially called Felicia Hardy, The Black Cat. Because it's not actually volume 1 to be legacy numbering with the current Black Cat series. Direct edition. Speaking of the Black Cat, here is another Black Cat series. This is a limited 2 of 4 limited series. We have Amanda Connor cover art. Let's check it out a bit. Oh, there were UFC. Interesting, I never knew that. There were UFC action figures, apparently. Anyway, so this is the limited series with Van Meyer, Pulido, Hollingsworth. This is from 2010. So we've got some 2010 goodness. We've got 2 artists, actually, 1 writer. Jen Van Meter is the writer, and then we've got Javier Pulido and Javier Rodriguez doing the writing duties. So it's just some standard 2010 Spider-Man books featuring Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat, limited series, doing stuff, stealing stuff. But Black Cat is cool because she's a thief, one of the best thieves in the Marvel Universe. I guess she's also a good skateboarder. Was skateboarding still cool in 2010? Anyway, we have pretty cool art. It's cartoony style. Some nice color palettes. Cool action. Maybe slightly simpler art style than you might like. I would have liked Connor doing the whole interior book. Amanda Connor's art, I really like her stuff. But I saw this one, and I don't have any of these, 1 through 4, so now I've got number 2. Alright, so the main reason I went to the shop this time around is I kind of wanted to get some copies of the back issues of the recent Black Cat series. So I have the first few issues, and then I don't have the completion of it. So there were 12 in Volume 1. Like I said, that Felicia Hardy Black Cat from the 90s apparently doesn't count. So this is Volume 1 of her ongoing series. And this is the variant cover. Behold the Iron Cat. So Felicia stole Iron Man technology in the previous issue, and then she made her own cool Black Cat costume. She's the Iron Cat. This is the final issue of that series. Again, she's a thief. She's going through adventures. She's got her team, Boris and Dr. Corpse, and they're stealing stuff, having fun. It's a cool series. It's a fun series. Jed MacKay is doing the writing duties throughout all 12 issues, and various artists. This is a variant cover, and I love how it looks. I'm not going to open up the book to show you because it's the final issue. I don't want to spoil what happened there. A lot of amazing stuff. Read it for yourself. And if I got the last issue, then I also got the first issue. So we got the first issue of Volume 2, Legacy number 13. It's hilarious that they're counting Legacy in something that happened, 3 months ago. You have to count Legacy for books in the 90s. This is the Scotty Young variant cover. It's so cute, so hilarious. Scotty Young baby style, whatever people like to call it. Issue number 1. Let's browse this one a moment. It's a brand new Volume 2. Now this is taking place during the King in Black storyline, so the first 3 issues of this Volume 2 are all tied into King in Black. Now we finally got a consistent artist here. CF Villa did the art mostly in Volume 2, which went off to 10 issues. It just ended. And so the first few issues are King in Black related stuff. So very cool action, cool art, nice bright colors and everything, cool action. There's a couple of little cartoony expressions that I enjoy here and there, but overall it's pretty realistic, pretty cool. So this one has to do with Null's invasion. Were you reading the King in Black storyline with its 7,000 tie-ins? I was picking it up here and there, the main Spider-Man books. And here, no, Doctor Strange, you're our only hope. Not really, but that is the first issue there of Volume 2 of the Black Cat Scotty Young variant. Okay, so I saw this one, and I'm like, what? They actually made a Jetsons recent comic book, and yes, they did. DC in 2017 and 2018 was on this kick of reimagining these classic Hanna-Barbera characters for dark and gritty. Witness, for example, Scooby Apocalypse, Wacky Racers, and here we have the Jetsons. I picked up the Scooby Apocalypse. I thought it was cool. It was fun. And then it went on pretty long, like 30 or 40 issues. And then there was also Wacky Racers, which I think was only 6 issues or so. And here's the Jetsons. So let's browse this one a moment. Do you subscribe to the theory that the Jetsons is actually the future taking place after the Flintstones and in a big ecological disaster? Well, anyway, this kind of plays into that trope. And as I kind of browsed the book earlier when I bought it, it didn't really stand out to me, actually. It didn't hit me the way the Scooby Apocalypse did, or Wacky Racers. That one was a freaking trip. If you ever read that Wacky Racers series that they did, it's wacky, it's crazy. And here, yeah, it's the grim and gritty modern version of the Jetsons. Now, I really don't like that they just don't really feel at all like the original characters. Meet George Jetson, his boy Elroy, daughter Judy, and Jane, his wife. They don't look anything at all like the original cartoons, and even Scooby Apocalypse and Wacky Racers had some semblance of the original cartoons, so I think that was a pretty big fail on their part here. And again, the story's not that amazing. Don't know how many issues there were, but the cover stood out to me. This is one of the variant covers. The other one was way more boring. I should have taken that as a hint that that other regular cover one was so boring, whereas this one caught my attention because it looks pretty cool, but the story's not that amazing. Let's Get Dangerous. I picked up an issue of Darkwing Duck from Joe Books, which I still don't know how they relate to Disney, if they just have the license or they're a subsidiary or something. So here we have Sparrow, Silvani, Little, and Hopkins. I love Darkwing Duck, don't you? This is from 2016. It's got amazing, cartoony, cute art, which I love. It's got a really fun story. There's the classic reimagining of The Dark Knight Returns, but it's the Duck Knight Returns. So Honker and Gosselin and Drake Mallard and everyone, and oh, look at this art, I love it. So this is a really fun read. Launchpad's Expression. Did you used to enjoy the Disney Afternoon back in the day? Do you watch the newest generation of it with your kids nowadays? Do you show them the old stuff? It still holds up, doesn't it? It's still so much fun. Look at that action, amazing! So this is a really fun series, definitely check it out. There weren't that many issues, and the following issue is a really fun one. We get a little preview of it here. I have the following issue, and it's... They go to a comic convention, and everyone's doing cosplay. This is a really fun issue. It's really meta, because we have Splatter Phoenix, and she's altering reality, and they might discover that they're actually living in the world of a comic book. You had to be there. And the villain of this particular story is a cute little kitty cat, but he's evil. Do you judge a book by its cover? A comic book by its cover? I sure did here. I picked up A Very Zombie Christmas 4 from Antarctic Press. This is from 2012. And what's not to love about a zombified Santa Claus? Let's get a close-up of that, but try not to have nightmares. Now, this reminds me a bit of Arthur Sidum's work, but it's not Arthur Sidum. It's just this gross, grungy Santa Claus coming to give you your present of everlasting death. Let's take a quick look through this one. So it's a black and white book, as many Antarctic Press books might be. It's a bunch of artists and creators that you don't know, but that's cool because AP giving more creators a chance to create stuff always creates nice stuff. And so there's a variety of styles and plots and comedy and less comedy here and there. I love anthology series. Ooh, that one's really scary there too. I love anthology series. I love horror series. I've kind of been realizing that about myself. Classic Ninja High School cover, but zombified. And I've been realizing that, yeah, I like horror comics more than I thought. And fun fact about me, as I was growing up, I was so scared of horror movies. I would just get nightmares from seeing the covers of the VHS boxes at the video store. Yes, VHS. And I would just have nightmares just by seeing those covers. And nowadays, I kind of like horror movies. Not exactly torture porn movies, horror movies. I'm not a big fan of Saw and Hostel and such, but I love me a good Friday the 13th. Halloween, Get Out, and that sort of thing. So yeah, horror movies. And here is a horror Christmas comic from Antarctic Press. Alright, so I picked up Star Wars Adventures #1. Ooh, what's this? The retailer exclusive variant cover. No one's got this cover. Maybe just a retailer or two. Here we have Rey in a really cute style. This is from 2017 or so. And so this is the launching of the new Star Wars Adventures, which are really cool. Nice Star Wars anthology series. I got it at a deal over here, originally selling for $24.99. I got it for less than that. Amazing. Plus, I also have a store discount, so even more amazinger. Let's take a quick browse through the book. Did I forget to say at the beginning of this episode that there will be spoilers? Whoops, there will be spoilers. So we've got Kavan Scott, Derek Charm, Tom B. Long. In this particular story, I love Derek Charm's work. It's this cartoony style. It's a simple style, but very dynamic. Not just with the art, but panel layout, posing. I like that transition from here to here. Ooh, there's someone behind you, Ray, watch out. So here is just a side story that happens before the beginning of the movie. I believe all of these things are canon, so you can get more... You can get swag. You can get more of a backstory on your favorite stories from the comics. To be continued. And then we have a different sort of story. That's a very cool cover. I believe that is the regular cover. Tales from Wild Space. Stop Thief. This is Kavan Scott, John Somariva, Sean Parsons et al. So they also do this part of the story where it's just completely different characters and the like, although there's Obi-Wan. This is obviously from Revenge of the Sith timeline, I believe. So they jump around all over the place on these books. And then there's this variant cover. You can read those dispatches from Wild Space. And then next, issue number 2, Tangled, the series, and all of the 7,000 covers. Wow, I didn't know that there were this many. But a lot of these, I suppose, from, store exclusives and such. So that's the regular cover. I saw that one at the shop as well. I picked up the retailer exclusive. Lots of covers. Didn't even realize that. Oh, and then DuckTales, the new comic series. So it's 00141. 4th variant cover, retailer incentive variant cover. Then we'll finish the video with the book that I was trying to get that I wasn't able to pre-order, but I actually then found it on the shelf. Tales Told in Tehnihorror, Season 1 is over at Black Caravan, a Scout Comics imprint. Let's check it out. So Scout always does these, or Black Caravan does these like matte covers instead of shiny glossy covers. They do these cardstock covers, and they're not jacking up the price like other comic publishers. So this is an anthology horror series. Tales Told in Tehnihorror. I just love that font. And then various creators here. Check them out on Instagram. Tell them VmCampo sent you. It's from June 2021. We have very short stories in full color. This one's about the deep, dark recesses of the ocean. Are you scared of the ocean? A lot of people are because there's such deep, dark recesses and you might get caught up in there. And then Imposter Syndrome, mankind should not have been there. And this one's kind of weird. It's just suddenly, creatures kill you in space, I guess. The Roots of Evil, I'm spoiling too much. Read it for yourself. We'll just go this far right here. We won't see what the rest is. But it's a horror anthology series, a bunch of different creators, very affordable price compared to the other comics at the moment. You get more bang for your buck, right? More stories for that same price. So, issue number 1, season 1. And actually, we'll close up the video with, Sweet Paprika, issue number 3, the naughty cover, the spicy cover, the NSFW cover that is still sealed for your protection. We can't let kids see some sexy comics, so they've got to be protected here. I'll probably open this up at some point. I've got a few that are bagged that I'll probably all open together in one long video, so we'll just have to imagine what is here. But actually, you can kind of take a peek down here, and we can see here legs. So if you're a leg man or leg woman or leg person, this is what you might like right here. There's legs. So the main character, Sweet Paprika, she is a demon in a world of demons and angels. She's a high-powered executive at a company, but she just doesn't have time for love. She has a lot of fantasies though, but then her dad always pops into those fantasies, so things get ruined. And then we discover something in issue 3 about dear old dad that is quite shocking and hilarious. It's a fun, sexy, well-drawn book with a lot of comedy and a lot of heart. So check it out if you haven't. And that was my back issue haul for the moment. Just wanted to show off a few books that I picked up. Some classic vintage 90s stuff, some modern stuff. Hope you liked it. Hope I didn't spoil too much. Remember, check out the comic books on your own. Support your local comic shops. Find one here, and then when you find one, tell them VmCampo sent you. You might get that fabled 69% discount if you do. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell, battle the Minotaur, do all that good stuff. If you really like my stuff, consider pledging. Joining the VMC crew right here on YouTube for 99 cents. What do you get from that 99 cents? Exclusive stuff, but also you keep me funded, you keep me motivated. I love sharing comic books and comic related stuff, and if you like comics and comic related stuff, why not chip in $1 to help out your favorite creators? It's really worth it. Any amount helps. If you can't quite pledge at the moment, no worries. Simply like, comment, share, subscribe, follow, help me go viral. Do all that good stuff. This has been VmCampo, and I'll see you next time.